Hey everyone, it's Roxy Horror here again. I am here to do my review of The Train to Busan. This was the movie that I was so excited to watch, and it paid off big time. This is my favorite movie that I've seen so far. However, there are some things that I'll talk about that go into what I disliked about this movie. But I mean, oh my god, it was just very, very well done. Um, and like, it didn't even bother me that there were subtitles. Like, it's a foreign film, so usually it's hard to follow if you have to read the subtitles and then look at the screen and whatever. I don't really have that issue. So for me, it's just, I've I've watched a ton of foreign films, so I don't have that issue. But a lot of Americans or English speaking folk have that problem. For me, it was perfect, or almost perfect. I'm gonna say it was perfect. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna go into what I liked about the film. Not only was it a horror, but it was an emotional ride. There was just so much, like, you were fearing for people's lives. The characters were so compelling. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like, I want all of these people to survive. And obviously they're not, because you wouldn't have all these characters in a movie you know, that weren't going to survive. And they kind of make their deaths, like, the way that they die is very reminiscent of their characters. Before I go into the emotional aspects and everything like that, I'm going to say that this review contains spoilers. So please stop this now, because I'm going to go into specifics. So if you don't want to hear the specifics and want to watch the movie first, please go watch the film, then come back and watch what I have to say. All right, we're going to move forward. So the I found myself getting upset when characters died, especially people that I was like, oh, there's like an emotional attachment with another character to this person, and how are they going to react when this person dies? And because you feel for that character, but then you feel for the other character, because you're like, okay, there's a connection here, and this character obviously means something major to this other character. For example, there's two elderly women. They are sisters. One of them is related to, there's a husband and his pregnant wife. One of them is related. Well, I guess they're both related because they're sisters, but, one of them is directly related. And she dies. And so the sister watches this happen, and you could just feel the emotion. She's like screaming for her to not do it, and then she does it anyway. And like, she's just like, I can't go on, like, my legs hurt, whatever. And so the other sister doesn't have anything to live for anymore, because she's like, well, everyone's dying around me. Like, I don't really know, like, my nephew's dead, my sister's dead, like, where do I go from here? And so she kind of just unleashes all of the zombies and on herself, and joins them, because she's like, I don't really have anything else to fight for now. So that was an interesting interesting aspect of the movie, and it was very well done. Um, and I understood why she did it, because the storyline was just so perfectly written in a way that like you feel the feelings that these characters are feeling. And oh my gosh, it was a wild ride. And I can seriously say I was sobbing. I had to, like, I was going through tissues. And I was like, I never get this emotional. Like, sure, I'll tear up and be like, oh my God. But I was legitimately, like, my heart was breaking and I was sobbing. Um, and like, there's only a few movies that I've done that with. One of them being Hereditary. It was very much similar to that aspect of like the family and like how something like this, some disaster, can tear a family apart. And I really felt it. Oh my gosh, and the acting was just, it was phenomenal. I'm getting emotional now just thinking about it. It's just like, I'll get into more of this family aspect right now. The father. So the father is a hard worker. He's trying to, make a lot of money to help support his daughter. And he kind of puts her on the back burner, because he's working so hard, and she thinks that he's being selfish. So the whole time throughout this movie, it's about their relationship and how he's trying to show her that he's not selfish. And at one point, I think the husband and wife, the husband turns to him and he's like, one day she's gonna appreciate everything you've done. And sure enough, she does. It's just, he's basically fighting to show her that, like, no, I really do care about you. This is not me being selfish. And it hurts him when she tells him that she feels like he is. And he basically, I mean, he dies. He dies for her. He tries to save her, and he dies. And that's the heartbreaking scene that I just, oh man, just even thinking about it, like, seeing him have to, like, leave the child, and like basically have someone else hold her back from like going after him. It was so painful, and both of them are crying, and it's just so very well acted, and it's very, very emotional. But yeah, he ends up dying for her, and she ends up getting to safety. And at the end, oh my God, she's like singing the song that she practiced for him as she's like walking to safety. She's like sadly singing the song. Oh my gosh, it was so heartbreaking. Oh God, tearing at the heartstrings, man. The husband and wife, the wife is pregnant. So we're going through this pregnancy thing again, that it seems to be a theme in these zombie movies sometimes. Like, oh boy. The husband dies to protect the wife. He tells the father to take care of her along with his daughter. The father dies for both of them. She ends up surviving too, along with her baby. The unborn baby and the daughter all survive at the end of the movie. And I really enjoyed that. So that's another thing that we're going to go into. I liked how they brought back the final girl in the innocent way like it used to be. Because now, don't get me wrong, love a strong female character, and y'all know that. So don't have to go into that. But oh my gosh, it's just, it really goes into like they have to now be strong for themselves, and they're weak. They survived because other people died for them, and they got lucky. And that's kind of how the final girl initially started, was like, okay, well, this girl was lucky enough to be the last person alive and find out who the killer is and try to fight them off, and they just got lucky. And I do think that these girls, if they didn't have the strong men that were in the movie, I think they would not have made it to where they were. I think the little girl she was kind of shafty. Like she could easily like hide somewhere and like sneak through and not, get eaten. But for the most part, it was a lot of that. Oh my gosh, the guy in the beginning of the movie comes back. He's awesome throughout the entire movie. He just, he's got like something's wrong with his leg. Like he must have hurt himself somehow. And he's still fighting off all these zombies. He gets to basically the ending scene, and then he dies, trying to save the girls. So, these girls are obviously surviving because these people care about them. And they're like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice myself for you because I care about you. So I did like that bringing it back to the basics kind of thing, which is weird to say because usually I'm like, oh my God, these girls, they're so blah. But the way the movie painted them, it was not that they were entirely weak. It was just that one of them was pregnant and one of them was a little girl. I mean, if you're pregnant, you're not running very fast. So the people that cared about them were essentially sacrificing themselves for them. So I really, really, really liked that. But it made for an incredibly sad movie. Incredibly sad. Oh God, the friends, I think they were in a relationship. The girl gets bit, and he lets her eat him because he's like, I'm just, and that was like near the end of the movie too, but he's just, he's heartbroken that she's dying. And he's just like, I have nothing to live for now. So he lets her bite him, and then he dies too. As I was talking about earlier, the older sisters, the one sister who essentially kills herself. I mean, both of them kind of did. The one gave up because she was just like, I can't survive. The other one was like, all of these selfish people on this bus, or on this train. I can't believe that they wouldn't let anyone in. They don't deserve to live. Neither do I. And so she allowed the zombies to come in and start killing everybody. I loved that. That was just instinctive for her to be like, oh, man, I don't know why you did that. Why did you let them kill you? And then she's like, oh, I know why. And then she just sets them free. The zombies. Oh my God. I love the zombie effects. They were terrifying. They were just so horrific. And the deaths and how they become zombies was just like traumatic. Like, I don't know. I have a weird thing where I don't like watching people have seizures. I don't know why. It's I think because I've had one. So I just don't like watching that happen, and it's just horrific. They're like basically having a full out seizure, and then all of a sudden they're like zombified, and their veins are sticking out, and their eyes are glazing over, and oh my god, it was just so well done. So hats off to the makeup artist. Good job. I loved that. Yeah, again, this weak link coming together, becoming strong, and surviving. I just love that idea. Okay, so we're unfortunately gonna have to be a little negative here. What I didn't like about the movie. I just don't think that this movie is rewatchable. It's very emotional. So you really have to be in the right headspace to watch it for another time. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. It just hit me in a way that like Hereditary did, where I can't get past a certain point. Like I'll watch it up to a certain point and then be like, okay, I'm done. Like I can't, I probably wouldn't be able to watch like the first death because I'm just like, okay, it's very emotional, and it's a ride that goes the whole way through the movie, and it doesn't let up. It gets worse and worse and worse until I'm sobbing my eyes out. So yeah, I mean, I just don't think that I would be able to rewatch this unless I'm in that headspace of like, okay, I understand that, I'm gonna feel sad, but this movie is great, so I want to rewatch it. I might have to have friends around. I think that's maybe I need to watch Hereditary with someone. I can't do it by myself. Oh my god, that stubborn man in that like wouldn't let them in because they could have been zombified or they could have had the virus. I just wanted him to die so bad, and it didn't even happen until the end of the movie. I was so mad, and he like went through so many people dying for him. Like he was just so selfish. He was what the daughter thought her father was. Like this was the guy that the daughter thought her father was. And I think that's how at the end of the movie, when everything comes together and like the stubborn man zombifies and he goes after the father, and then he tries to go after the wife with the baby. He is the epitome of the selfish, where the father is fighting for the lives of these two women. And it was very, it paid off. So don't get me wrong. It definitely paid off, but it came at a price, and it was a very, very heartbreaking price. And, I understand the story needed to move forward, and these things needed to happen for everything to come full circle, where the daughter ends up appreciating her father for everything that he did for her. But, and she apologizes to him and everything. Oh God, it's so heartbreaking. But I would have liked it better if they just did away with that man right from the get-go. Like he kills people that were on his side to like get away from zombies. Oh God, I hate him. But anyway, long story short, love the movie. Overall rating, I give it a 5 out of 5. I know. I said it wasn't perfect, and there are some things that I didn't like about it. May not be as rewatchable as some of these other movies, but all in all, It was fantastic, and it had a wonderful story, and it just hit me in a way that none of these other movies did. And I fully appreciate this film, and I think it's fantastic. So please, if you have not seen it, go out and watch it. Yeah, so my next review is going to be on Return of the Living Dead. And yeah, I will see you then. Stay spooky.